Welcome to Mission Minute News. I'm Dominican Sister Jean Harris. SVD Missiologist receives Lifetime Award. The American Society of Missiology, ASM, has awarded its 2021 Lifetime Achievement Award to Father Stephen Bevans, SVD. Bevans, Professor Emeritus of Mission and Culture at Catholic Theological Union, Chicago, is recognized for his outstanding contributions to the academic study of the Church's mission and missionary activity, an academic field called MISSIologist, which arose in the 19th century. Steve Bevans is receiving this award for a number of reasons, said the ASM president, Dr. Arun W. Jones, Associate Professor of World Evangelism at Emory University. First, he is a scholar of world renown who has published prolifically in a number of different missiological fields. Second, Steve has been an ardent supporter of the ASM, serving tirelessly in a number of capacities, including as president. And third, and perhaps most important, Steve Bevans is a man of deep faith, compassion, openness, and joy, who relates to people from all sorts of Christian and other religious backgrounds with grace and ease. The ASM membership is deeply grateful to have Steve as part of our community. An internationally sought-after speaker, Father Bevans' academic focus includes contextual theology, the theology of Christian mission, and missional ecclesiology. Currently, he is researching Pope Francis' idea of the culture of encounter. Father Bevans has taught at CTU for 3 decades. Prior to joining the faculty, he was a missionary himself, serving in the Philippines. He holds a licentiate in theology from the Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome and a doctorate in theology from the University of Notre Dame. He also has served as a research fellow at Yale and as a visiting scholar at St. Edmund's College, Cambridge. He has authored, co-authored, and edited 20 books, including Models of Contextual Theology, 2002, Constance in Context, A Theology of Mission for Today, with co-author Father Roger Schroeder, SVD, 2004, An Introduction to Theology in Global Perspective, 2009, and coming in 2021, Does God Love the Coronavirus? Friendship, Theology, and Hope in a Post-COVID World, with Clemens Sedmark, co-author. Women Support Life in Uganda. Most of the refugees in the Bidi settlement in Uganda are children. Many lost their parents during conflicts in the bush while fleeing South Sudan. Others' parents were killed at home by rebels or soldiers, and still others ran away without parents who couldn't walk long distances. Thus, there are large families headed by single women who are true heroines in caring for the lives of these children, whether their own or those of relatives and friends. SSPS sisters Benegilda and Benedicta meet regularly with the families and are a source of strength and hope in their difficult daily routines. Many of the women can neither read nor write, but send their children to school, some of whom are rebellious and whose care demands courage, prudence, and patience from village leaders, the church, and the sisters. The sisters are impressed by the innate virtue of these refugee women to creatively sustain and nurture life. They bind together in prayer, work, and seeking simple undertakings to supplement their monthly ration, aiming at a better future for themselves and for all the children. SVD missionary meets practical need. HIV, AIDS, contraception, and premature pregnancies are taboo topics in Thailand. But the silence only makes the problems worse. Brother Damien Lunders, a Divine Word missionary, organizes workshops to educate students and teachers. Every year, Brother Damien reaches over 2,500 students between the ages of 12 and 15. At the Nong Ping Bung Pan School, as part of an AIDS information and prevention course, Brother Damien uses chemical demonstrations to show symbolically how much the virus spreads when you have several intimate partners. 14-year-old Juanita and her classmates learned the lessons well. I no longer have such prejudices against people with HIV, and I am less afraid because I now know how it is transmitted. She relates at the end of the course. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It weakens a person's immune system by destroying important cells that fight disease and infection. There is currently no cure for HIV, but with proper medical care, it can be controlled. Thailand is one of the countries in Asia with the highest number of HIV infections. Around 470,000 people are infected or sick. This is a problem, especially in the remote regions, because there is a lack of necessary education, says Brother Damien, who for over 20 years has headed the Mother of Perpetual Help Center in Nong Bua Lampu province in the northeast, one of the poorest regions in the country. With hardly any industry, most people there work as day laborers and grow rice for their own use, yet hardly have enough to live on. Many young people move to the cities, but the hope for a better life is often not fulfilled. Worse still, out of ignorance, they contract the virus or end up in prostitution, where the risk of AIDS is high anyway, and then they're often rejected by their families. Brother Damien is fighting the spread of this insidious disease. His AIDS prevention courses, although limited to Nong Bua Lampu, have long been known throughout Thailand. Their aim is to inform young people about AIDS, but also to reduce prejudices and fear of contact with those infected. Every year, 20 schools take part in the courses, which start with a workshop for teachers and selected students who then pass on their knowledge within their school. They are supported by the center's staff, but also by nurses and doctors. Juanita also learned a lot about her body. Sex before marriage? No, that is out of the question. Her teacher, Supani Rachaning, is also grateful for the course. I now know a lot more about AIDS and contraception and can finally speak freely with the students about these topics. Holy Spirit hard at work in Japan. From the beginning of their missionary service in the province of Japan, the SSPS sisters have been involved in girls' education. Holy Spirit Junior and Senior High School in Seto City, originally founded in 1949 and merged with SVD 25 years ago, now has about 1,400 students. Japan being a non-Christian country, there are very few Catholic students and teachers in our school, shares Sister Josephina Yasuo Kudo. At the beginning of each religious class, we take time for meditation to calm our minds and review our daily lives. One day, I asked junior high school students what they thought during the meditation time. One wrote, "I told God I'm here." Another wrote, "Today I felt more enthusiastic to know about God than before." Still another, "I asked God to be one with everyone." My heart leapt with joy as I was convinced that the Holy Spirit has been working in them. I could feel that they are longing to know God from deep within. In March, a year after enrollment, the same students attended their very first Eucharist, and one of them wrote afterward, "God certainly is with us, so we can walk as children of light. If everyone's light were bundled together, this world would be incredibly bright." Lead, kindly light. Pandemic time missions in Polish exhibition. The exhibition Pandemic Time Missions, presenting the struggle of missionaries with the coronavirus pandemic, was prepared by the Missionary and Ethnographic Museum in Silesia and presented there at the parishes of St. Alexandra in Suwałki and the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of the Church, in Goldap. Recently, the exhibition has been hosted in the Divine Word Parish, Queen of Apostles in Rybnik, and in the Parish of Christ the King in Ledziny-Holdenau. The faithful had the opportunity to see illustrations and read interesting texts about the extremely difficult problem of missionaries at a time when the whole world was struggling with COVID-19, says Father Marek Adamczyk, SVD, parish priest and rector of the community in Rybnik. It was very important to encourage prayerful support for the missionaries for whom access to vaccines and other medical supplies was, and still is, a distant future. We are convinced that these images are very informative and help to open the minds and hearts of the faithful to priests, brothers, and sisters working in the missionary church, away from their homeland, family, and loved ones. One of the pastors declared, "We support missionaries with prayers and sacrifices, and we thank the Divine Word Fathers for opening the exhibition, which is of great interest to parishioners." One hospital and the challenge of COVID. The recent increase in the number of cases of coronavirus and its variants in Brazil is a cause for strong concern. In addition to the number of deaths, the impact of the pandemic places on an increasing burden on health systems. Daily, the missionary sisters, servants of the Holy Spirit, at Our Lady of Light Hospital and Maternity face problems in the procurement of medications that are in short supply, in the exorbitantly high prices that stretch their finances, and in the lack of health professionals and the fatigue they face. Throughout the pandemic, the sisters have had to restructure their operations to meet the demand, adding to their COVID intensive care unit a respiratory ward of 10 beds, which have served more than 700 patients. Overcrowding persists throughout the hospital, as well as a lack of medications and illness among the health professionals. Nevertheless, the Sisters of Our Lady of Light Hospital carry forward its 52-year-old legacy of care with great love and dedication. If you have a comment or question about any of our stories, please email us at missionminutenews@wordnet.tv. You can also post your comments below each video on YouTube. We promise to respond. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Share with others about the channel and the variety of programs you enjoy there. Please join us every Wednesday for our online Eucharist and Adoration and Benediction of the Blessed Sacrament, starting at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. To send us your prayer requests or to sponsor the Wednesday Eucharist, contact us by phone at 909-383-4333 or send an email to mail@wordnet.tv. This is Mission Minute News. Until we meet again, stay safe, and may Jesus' love for you make you smile.